Good afternoon, good morning, and good evening from wherever you're watching us. This is We Talk Show. I'm your host, as always, Stephanie Macharia. Today we have a different setting. As you can see, it's not what you're used to. But don't worry, it's still the same people, same content, okay? So today we are going to venture into something very serious, not like what we're used to all the other times. So more often times than not, we always discuss about alcoholism, drugs abuse, and all addiction and everything to do with addiction. Today we have a certified profession of addiction. He's Mr. Jeff Moremi, and he's going to introduce himself, tell us about all his ups and downs with addiction and how he recovered and up to where he is today. So, Mr. Jeff, welcome to the set. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It is a pleasure.
Welcome.
Thank you for the introduction. It carried
the weight.
Yes. So I'm Jafet Murimi Gidenji, otherwise known as Jeff.
Okay.
I'm a counseling psychologist and also a certified addiction professional.
Okay.
And I'm also in recovery. That is to say, I battled addiction, and now my lifestyle is a lifestyle we call recovering from addiction. I'm around 6 years and 8 months.
Oh, that's nice.
Clean.
Oh, okay.
Today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a milestone.
Yeah. It's usually sometimes when I look back of where I've been, the things I've been through, and how I'm living now, it's grateful. It's a lot of peace. I feel happy and proud.
Oh, that's nice.
And thankful to God.
God, yeah? All the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so give us your journey. Take us through your journey. Let us wear your shoes today.
Yeah. So my journey is long. Where do I start? Where do I begin?
Like, who is Jeff? From where you in school, before you became that addicted Jeff? How was life? How were you?
Yeah, I was born 31 years ago. I feel like, you remember in high school when we were writing compositions, where you're from, in the slopes of Mount Kenya, the feet of Mount Kenya, in a very small village, middle class family. My mom used to work as an accountant. My dad was a building contractor. Went to school. I'm the firstborn in a family of two. I had what we call happy childhood, give or take. Around the time when I was 8 years old, nikiingia class 4, when I was being admitted for class 4, I was taken to boarding school.
Class 4?
Yeah, I was 8. Another thing, I've always been the youngest in all my classes.
Kadogo, like kamwili ama?
Yeah, even age-wise, body-wise. What you can see now is as a result of somebody who is cooking at home.
Someone is looking after you.
Yes. I'm not saying I was not being looked after.
Shout out to her.
I'm only saying I was tiny. Okay. So that being separated from home, started having anxiety. Of course, I didn't know it was anxiety, bullying here and there.
Yeah, in boarding.
Yeah, the verbal, not the physical, but I never felt like I really belonged. So that's all I knew. I knew that all I had to. I always felt like I was chasing after attention, comfort, and at some point even my performance went down, and the only reason my performance went up again is because my father told me I had to make him proud. So I grew up knowing.
So you had now like a target.
Yeah, to make my father proud. It was never about me. So you can imagine now from 8 years to around 13 years. Because actually I went to high school when I was 12.
12?
No, 13. Because from 1, 2007, yes, 13.
Wow.
13, that was from 1. And I still had this, like, I don't belong, like, I was chasing acceptance on another level. So the other bit that is important to know in this story is, I come from a society that normalized drinking. So there was alcohol at home, everywhere.
You can see your dad, your brother, uncles.
During holidays, during Christmas, as early as 9 years
Taste.
would take. It was not
9
big.
years?
Yeah. During Christmas,
It
that one,
wasn't like
the grown-ups
disgusting.
get tipsy,
Take
But
from
you
the
see,
glass.
one other thing that I would like to bring to the front is for those people who are struggling. You see, our minds learn by association. So there are people out there who had a relationship with alcohol even before they drank it. How do you have a relationship with alcohol even before you drink it? By those around you. If somebody else is drinking and you see like they're having fun, you already have a relationship with alcohol before you drink, because it creates an illusion that drinking is fun. So even if you drink 10 years later, you already had a relationship. So I had a relationship with alcohol even before. All right.
Emotionally before the physical part.
Yes. So because I could see the people around me, most of them were doing well. I never really, whether my mind was blocking, and maybe my mind just saw it fit to see the good in alcohol. I never really saw a problem. Me, I usually saw, when people drink, they become happy.
You never had a chance to see maybe some people fighting?
Yeah, and even if I did, my mind never
Registered
that. So for me, it was a welcome venture. So because of I had other issues still that were unresolved. So when I was 14, in Form 2, I had the issues with my performance came again, and I was not very clean or orderly. I would miss classes. I had discipline problems, and I was not smoking weed or doing other hard drugs or anything. Even the alcohol was just that one for December at home. So I was not doing those things. But then there was this disciplinary committee that were doing a crackdown on people who were doing drugs in school, and in one way or another I found myself in that list.
How?
Again, association. There was no other way to explain poor results, the disorderliness, the
friends you had.
The friends. So this chap must be. So, and the style they used, because the list was long, so it was a very anxiety-inducing process. So we knew a list was out. You don't know who's on the list, and guys were being called one a day. So your parent was called. You would come to the office, then you would be taken from class, and then you'd have to go, and you'd had to accept
that you're doing drugs.
Yes. So you'd be beaten.
In school.
All of those things in high school. So you can imagine knowing there is a list out there of 50 plus people, and it's not being read out,
and you don't know.
And people are being called one by one. It's anxiety pro max.
But
when I saw the people who are being called, I mean, I knew.
You knew you're next.
This one.
You're inside.
Yeah. So I had a strategy. If my day comes, there's no refusing anything. Neither nobody is going to beat me. I'll tell them what they want to hear. I'll tell them what they want to hear, and that is what happened. It came true. I was called. In fact, on my day, have you ever heard of the saying, siku ya nyani kufa miti zote uteleza?
I've not heard it, but it's relatable. Yeah.
At the day of the monkey dying, all trees
Trees
are slippery.
You can just say siku ya mwizi. It's the same thing, right?
This time I was not Muizi, I was monkey.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the shirt I had on that day.
Uh-huh.
You know, in high school we used to
Fold it.
Yes, when it gets dirty here,
You fold it in.
So I had that shirt on.
Uh-huh.
My hair was all over the place. You know, and the previous term, I had a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
But the report from my dad had at home was a B plus.
You had to be in that list. There's no way you couldn't have been in that list. Now
I was not doing. I was not doing any hard stuff. So I'm called into the office. My dad is there. The disciplinary committee is there, and they lay out the allegations.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you guys are right. You guys are.
You're right.
Yeah.
You accepted.
Yeah. I mean, I really want to get beaten.
But reputation.
Now here's the thing. So after that, remember the backstory of me trying to find acceptance, you know. So I was, even the rest of the guys were even getting kicked off from school, and you had to go get a drug test, be treated, and then come back. Me, for being that nice, I was given a leave out.
One day.
Yes, I go, I be tested, what, blah, blah. Of course, the test came negative. But you see, nobody at school knew. The only thing at school that was known was that I was in the list. So when I went back, that day, around the dorm area, guys were coming. I was now a bit popular. I was like, so all I needed to do was smoke weed. Guys, come on.
Why they didn't put it in there, you know?
In the manual for popularity. So I was like, this is all I need.
Imagine.
So I started.
What?
Yeah.
After knowing the consequences, what will get you into?
But you see, and even in addiction, let me define for you addiction.
Okay.
There are very many definitions of addictions out there. But the best definition of addiction I've come across is where people use something, or somebody is using something for short-term relief, but the thing has long-term consequences, and they are unable to stop even when they experience the consequences. So the relief from what? It is the relief from any kind of pain. Okay?
Yeah.
It is relief from any kind of discomfort. So at that time, the consequences of using could not match the relief I needed from acceptance and popularity.
When you learn, say.
I ran with it for a long time, and now I became smart about it to a point I was never caught again. It's funny, when I was not using, I
You were
was
caught.
When I was using,
No, you
I
never
was never
got caught.
In fact, at some point when I was in Form 4, some teachers were using me to talk to guys who
And they don't know you're using.
I managed to hide it very well. Because I figured, what made me get caught? It is being dirty, friends,
Grades.
and grades. So,
Up your
improve grades, keep good company,
and be presentable.
and be presentable.
Colors.
See, so basically, I taught myself to put on a mask, and I did put it quite well, because after Form 4, I
So you managed to clear high school without being caught.
with good grades,
Oh,
even
nice.
because I went to university.
Okay, not nice. Nice.
Yeah, I'm a psychologist now. I'm a psychologist now, but by that time, I enrolled to do economics and finance. So here is campus and life.
That's where everything
And you know,
volcanoes.
yeah.
Because you're meeting all people from all walks of life.
And I want this popularity so bad. I
To
want
stick.
this acceptance, and I want women.
Men-
Because in high school, all we were looking forward to is drugs and
Funkies.
sex.
True. Yeah.
You'll be there, and even university, at the way you look at courses, you are looking at the university where people have most fun.
Funky kwenye party ziko mob.
It was
Okay.
twisted. It's if you look at that age, by Form 4 I was 16. I told you Form 1 I was 13, Form 2 14 when I started, Form 3 15, Form 4 16. So first year I went in at 17. In fact, I had outperformed myself. My father was so happy. He was like, whatever you want to do.
Do.
Yeah, because for him, he was like, you just get the bare minimum. At least we find you a kakole somewhere.
Yeah, at least do
But now,
something.
But now I pulled a surprise even on myself, literally. So I went there, still looking for this popularity. And see, I had the formula. The formula was to do drugs and to do as many as possible.
Now no limitation. See,
No
not like high
limitation.
school.
Now I'm in campus 17 years with tuchums here and there. Na kupata wanawake. But inakaa vya warembo madem. I'm sorry. Vocabulary
He has
is limited.
apologized.
Warembo. My body is millennials.
Gen Z.
Gen Z walikuwa primary hiyo time.
Sorry about millennials.
Millennials wetu. We are proud of you guys. Anyway, sasa
He looks to have been a bad boy in school.
anyway. Nilikuwa na formula. So do as many drugs as possible, be as loud and wild as possible. And the resources were there. So mimi nikajiachilia kukunywa. So ile kukunywa hata ya high school, hata ile smoke weed ya high school na sigara, it was once in a while. But sasa ika graduate to a daily thing. So first year mimi nimeenda kama ni classes vizuri. First year, first sem, first year, second sem, second year, first sem. So by that time, so nilikuwa nisha graduate into during first year. I learned the other things. Kuna mogoka. There are very many other means to get high. So hapo ndio unajuanga strip clubs zote. Hapo ndio unajuanga club zote tao. Yeah.
Kina jam session. Na
Hizo-
F2.
Wacha na hata na hizo. Unajua hizo ni designated days. Hapa sana ndio unajua zile vitu zinakuwa 24 hours.
Aya.
Kuna mapali tulikuwa tunaingia Monday unatoka Thursday.
Awendira shule.
Ai, kwa na best yangu fulani mwenye siwezi taja, lakini najua ataona hiyo video. Kuna time tuliingia base hapa au Monday after tukatoka Friday asubuhi.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning.
Na nikajasho unasikia kama nini sana ina.
Hiyo ndio ilifanya mtoke. Jasho ndio ilifanya mtoke.
Juu sasa anyway. So
some things are better left unsaid.
But hiyo ndio ilikuwa lifestyle. Anyway, na so ika graduate hivyo, so naamka asubuhi niko na lock, nikukunywa mafegi, bangi, naanza chaba. I'm not sure also. This is in international, so English. Yeah. So sorry. Wake up in the morning, smoke, drink, chew, take things, get high. I didn't go to school. So in my mind, I'm like, there's next semester, the exam. Oh, I'm a bright boy. This one.
No
I'm
need
happy.
to go to school.
So second year first sem, I remember very well. My roommate was first year first sem at that time. So there was this unit, macroeconomics, macroeconomics 2. So of course I was not attending classes, and there was a cut. So I remember that night the cut was like tomorrow. So like today, I take cigarettes, I take weed, and then I take a lot of mogoka. You know, with mogoka
Today,
you can't
yeah.
sleep. So I read page to page. So at night, after I'm sure I've read, I tell my friend, no mentioning names, but he'll remember this story.
You look for you.
Ask me the questions. So you would ask me, you take the handout, ask me the question. So like, so and so, what does this say? I would even quote the page and say, that is on page 56, paragraph, and this is what it says. So I would have asked that. Now the problem is, the cut was 8 a.m. I woke up at 10.
All that for nothing.
All that for nothing. So I started like...
you didn't do the cut. They didn't give you a chance.
I didn't even try.
Kali, you just...
Yeah, that was second year. So I just stopped going to school. But mind you, people at home didn't come.
You're in school.
Yes. So that goes on up until 2015 now. I was 21 then, when I was supposed to graduate. And by that time, it had gotten so bad. It had gotten so bad. Because even like you can see my teeth now. Yeah, I was not born like this. Yeah, I had straight teeth. Yeah, so I fell. I used to be those people. I used to have a dent like every week.
Falling from being drunk.
Falling. I didn't used to fight. Drunk, I was not violent. But it was either falling, hitting something, jumping over the gate.
Okay, Jeff. What?
They are just two things. So 2015 comes. I'm supposed to graduate. School fees is still being paid. And mind you, every end of semester I was going home with result slip.
Fabricated?
Definitely.
Don't try this at home.
Yeah. Don't. DCI, don't. So my dad calls me and he tells me, now I can see your class is graduating. Why are you not calling us for the graduation? And I tell him, you are hurrying up. Me, I was to call you tomorrow. So then my dad is like, so you are graduating? Why not?
Do you even have the gown?
Let me tell you. You remember when I was young and my dad, when I was in primary school and I was performing poorly because of all I was
you
going
had to do
through,
it for him.
And he told me to make him proud of him, and my nini came up. There was no way I could have let that man down. I gave him his graduation.
How did you do it?
I faked it. The whole thing,
You faked it?
Yeah.
Okay, explain. Because I know I'm not the only one who is. But we're not giving you any ideas. We're not giving you any ideas here. Don't try this at home. How did you fake a graduation? Like,
is the dates, you get the gown, you get the gate pass, you get somebody into, the chairs they have printed names, you get the fonts, you sneak in one, you take a picture. Then the time for graduation, it's 8:30, you tell them to come at 10:30, you get the book, you get it printed, all of these things happen. You've heard it in the news, government doing crackdown on fake graduates. It's a well-known secret.
And you pulled it off.
It is actually very easy. But don't do it.
Don't. Because
at that time, what actually happened, the guilt that hit me from that, now come 2016.
So wait, let's go back a bit. Did he come for the graduation?
Yeah, they came.
Were they allowed in? Because your name was in the list. How does it work?
When people come in the school where we are at, in the graduation square, you have maybe space for one person. But there is the other way everybody goes. So there they could come. So what I did is the time.
Okay.
I confused them with time. It was starting at 8:30. I told them 10:30. African timers, they reached at 11:30.
Okay.
So by 11:30,
The graduation is done.
so I walk out with a gown and I'm like, you guys are late. Oh, what's up? By that time, I'm very drunk too, because it's one of my darkest moments. And even speaking about this 6 years later, it takes not 6 years, 10 years later, 2015, 2025.
Yeah, next year. It's 2025.
It's 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you. Yeah, I don't realize sometimes how far.
What time? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was 10 years ago. So I was very drunk, and from the day my dad called me, when I panicked and lied about it, was December 10th. The graduation was December 18th. That was 2015. To the day I went to rehab in April 24th, 2018. Since that day to that day I went to rehab, I never had a sober moment. Not day, moments.
Like you're always high.
Yes, I was not sleeping. I was blacking out. I couldn't sleep. Some things you can't sleep with. You know, I was shown numerous support, even friends, family.
The guilt.
That type of guilt, and seeing how I've wasted my life up to that point. I have nothing.
Invested the whole 4 years, right?
By that time. But you see, when I was gotten for a job, I fathered the lie. I lied that I've gotten a scholarship to do masters.
So you didn't go for the job?
Yes. So how could I have gone for the job? And I knew very well
you're not qualified.
Everything was fake. And when I had the company, I knew very well these guys will catch me. So a lie on top of the lie. And that is it about addiction. It is the lies on top of the lies on top of the...
It creates a web of lies. You have to find a lie to cover up.
So during 2016 was very dark. So 2016 I started contemplating, I wouldn't say suicide, but dying.
Okay.
I was looking for ways to die that are not.
How is that? You are the one who... Nobody's killing you. You're the one who wants to...
Yeah, you see there's I'm forgetting the word now that we are on camera. These are the things you remember at night when nobody needs them. But there's that where people put themselves in danger, hoping to die, but they don't want to off themselves.
Okay.
Like you find somebody will do dangerous things. They will cross the road dangerously. Yeah, they will walk.
But if you try to stab them, they're scared. They don't want to die.
No, they will walk in dangerous places because they might get killed, and they are hoping actually somebody to do it for them, but they can't do it. So that is what I was doing. But at that time I didn't realize, but I was doing very dangerous things. I could go to dangerous places. For example, half of 2016, half of it I was kind of homeless. We had rented a single room with 5 other guys. We were paying 1,000, so we were paying 200 each. There was no water, there was no nothing, so we used to bathe in Ruiru River. And mind you, I was doing masters and getting a fair amount of rent and pocket money, but by that time the rate at which I'm doing alcohol and drugs could not allow.
All the money is going into the drugs.
Yeah, because during those times we'd even drink 10,000, 20,000 a day. It was not something. And there's this mask I've also put on. There's a facade. I'm now a graduate.
Masters.
It was too much. So 2016 I hit my first low, and I was thinking of ways to die. but I didn't want to do it myself. But I was hoping somebody would do it. I was even thinking of, going some place where nobody knows me. Kama na uko Kisumu. I always thought of Kisumu.
Why?
I had this fantasy that I'm in Kisumu. I had watched a documentary, and in Lake Victoria there was a lot of hippos and crocs. So I was hoping I just go to Kisumu.
And
then one day on the boat ride, the boat capsizes,
And
they
eat you up.
there. I had that fantasy.
People fantasize of good things. I fantasize of driving a G-Wagon one day. I fantasize of...
Yeah.
You fantasize of
Dying.
being eaten by hippos.
Yes, because that would have taken everything away. So anyway, what happened then? 3 years before 2016, there is somebody I was dating, and they managed to go abroad, so they came back, and then they found me in that state, and because of love, they picked me up. Now the problem is, we were doing these things together,
So there's no even helping each other.
yeah. So 2016 now, during
So don't say they picked you up. They came to continue.
no, they picked me up because, like, at that point, by the time they came, is where I was showering in the river and those things. So we got a house. There was this kamani, and that holiday we went home, and people were like, "Yeah, this guy."
You had not lost weight. You were eating
I had
well.
lost a lot of weight, but I had not lost my brain. So there was that. So, and the stigma around studies.
Yeah, you study a lot.
This guy is this guy is like this because even the way he drinks, ni hiyo masomo. It's not.
If they only knew.
Mind you, that time how I'm surviving is I had started selling also weed, mogokayat, because I wanted supply.
To always have it.
Yes. Now the problem is, come 2017, pesa wisha. So that lady tries to go back abroad. She goes back. She's deported. She comes back. Now we have nothing. We are basically now. We had to fund the life of 2 addicts living together. 2 people.
Which is very hard.
Which is very hard. I'm telling you, the relationship got toxic. We used to fight. We used to almost want to kill each other. It's like we wanted to die.
You both have such fantasies now.
We never verbalized it.
Yeah.
But now
you can
looking
see
at
how
it,
The thoughts were there.
Now 2017, so the master's program was supposed to end then. That one I didn't fake. So I went home and I said, yeah, guys, this one has been too hard. I've been unable to finish.
You've deferred.
Yeah, but now I am married. So at some point we were unable to pay even the house. When she first came, we took a big house and we went going to small houses like that, selling things. The nice things we bought in 2016. By 2017, most of them are gone. You wake up one day and you realize you have a bed and you have a mattress. So you're like, why do you need a bed
And you have
and the mattress? And the mattress can be on the floor. So you sell the bed. And then you go to a single room and you had curtains over one bedroom. So you're like, why do you still need the curtains?
Yeah.
And there's that. So you leave that one. And then after a week, you say, this single room has one window and we have nowhere to hang our towels. If you hang the towel on the window, why then do we need the curtain? And you reason like that, you're like, yeah, why? You just shower?
If you have 5 sufurias, you just need 2.
If you have a gas cooker, why do you need a gas cooker when a stove work is good? So by the time that house was closed, we had a mattress, Why do you need 5x6, 6x6 mattress when you can trade it in and get a 3? See, we love each other. We will hold each other at night.
So you exchange it to a smaller mattress.
Yeah, at least to survive, you know.
And all this money is for the drugs.
Yes, and the alcohol and that lifestyle and that mask. You know, it was a lot of drama. So at some point we were unable to pay the house. Yeah, we used to live in Ruiru, a place called Wakairo. Hey, Wakairo. Anyway. We are unable to pay the house, we go back home. Now I'm in a deplorable state. And we start doing that over again. Hey, my parents get tired. They say, we cannot have two problems, and one is not ours.
You took her home?
She could not go to her home because, remember, the money from abroad.
She didn't go home. She came and used it. You have to take the burden.
So we went home. One day my mother chased her away because they couldn't take it anymore and things were getting bad. I could even feel it in myself. My head was not okay. You know how you feel like... Actually, people who are struggling and suffering know only that sometimes they don't know any other way of living, or they don't see how they can, or the shame is too great.
Denial also.
Yeah, that is what now brings the denial. But I knew something was wrong. But I just couldn't. The pride couldn't.
Yeah.
And now it's
and
like...
the fear of the unknown. This is the life you already know. So...
Yeah, so my mom, like, took care of that. I insulted her in the matatu stage. One of my other darkest moments, I was seated there when I was very drunk and I was telling my mom all these words. You're not even my mother. Now you have just some words that are not...
Heavy words.
We cannot put on camera to my own mother. And then later now, because my dad tried to take me to counseling, but I used to run away. One time I asked him for 100 shillings and he told me he'll give me 100 shillings every day till I die, so that I just get away from him. And he gave me that 100 shillings for like 10 days and I was like, yo. Told me he'll give this 100, okay. Now, so instead of trying to come clean, I added another lie. So I went to my dad. But that time, he had started doubting everything. You know? So I went to tell him now, I need to do another degree to add on to the first one.
Wait, did they catch about the lie about the first graduation?
Yes, they did. But not at that point.
Okay.
So my dad is like, okay. But now he had already looked for a rehab. Now they were thinking of ways to take me. So when I went...
Because you can't go by yourself.
Yes, so when I went with the idea of doing another degree, my father is very wise. He was like, yeah, kamejileta.
This is the time, opportunity.
This is the time. So we went actually to that school that I was supposed to go. Then he told me, I cannot pay school fees for you until I go somewhere. You be checked that head of yours because I don't think you are okay. You be given medicine so that you be going to school. But they knew when I get there, there's no coming out. And that is what we did. And that day came and I went there. And I was told to go say hi to some guys. And then coming out, my dad is not there. Then I'm told, yo.
Which rehab?
It was in Kirinyaga.
Okay.
Yeah. You are not going to advertise people.
No, you might say, someone might be near there and they don't know there's a rehab. Okay, we will not advertise, but in Kirinyaga there's a rehab.
In case you need, you call us.
Contact us.
Tell you.
We'll direct you to the best rehab.
Yeah, to the best facilities. Yes. So now, I go there. I'm there. I'm in rehab now.
So how did you react?
I was angry. I was bored. I was like, oh shit.
Did you throw a ton? Were you agitated when you came out?
By that time I was 49 kilos. They had no strength.
A grown up with 49
I was walking
kids.
like a zombie. I was literally a zombie. I was like this, you know, with my height and with those. I was defeated.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that was remaining was to accept the defeat.
Mm-hmm.
And that took some bit of time. And one day in rehab, I was about 1.5, 2 months in. And my friend who was there helped me a lot. He was a patient like me, but he always used, because he knew me, he always spoke to me. I wish I can mention his name because he has had a lasting.
Shout out to him. Say hi to him.
Confidentiality. Maybe people don't want to know him.
Okay, you know yourself.
Yeah, you know. And he knows.
And we appreciate.
Yes, he used to tell me, Jeff, the way you are living, you have potential. You have all these chances. Then one day at night, I had all this realization, and I remember crying, wailing, and saying, God, I don't want to ever live like this again.
Mm-hmm.
Only to remember that during the previous years, I didn't even believe in God. And now I'm here, I'm saying, God.
You didn't believe in God all this time?
When things were going very bad, I stopped believing. But now, this particular night in rehab, all I can think is only God can take me out of this.
Mm-hmm.
If He's there. But I remember saying that.
If you are there.
If you are there, I never want to live like this. And that morning I woke up and I said, I'll never do drugs and alcohol again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how. I didn't want to know how. But that's all I knew.
When was this?
2018 now.
Mm-hmm.
2018 around. I went into rehab 2018 April 24th.
Mm-hmm.
But that realization came when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So my folks at one point had to come, and my father saw I'm okay, and he's like, now so you can go to work now.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, with what degree? Like, see, we have a degree, so we came to graduation. That was a lie. Oh.
That's how you put it. You didn't like, Dad, I have something to tell you. I want to open up.
You know, in rehab, there's these things we call family therapies.
Uh-huh.
And you know, now, my parents had suffered enough, so they really wanted to be over and done. Mm-hmm. So that day, my father asked me, now I can see you okay? Immediately after this, Kazi direct. And I'm like,
no degree.
That thing you have in your bedroom is fake. Hey. That time, he had not come with my mom because of that guy episode that I talked to you about.
So you're not even in good terms with your mom
yes.
since that time?
Yes. So my mom, some other time, came to rehab, and we talked about it, and it was painful for them. I watched both of my parents cry. We cried together. It was so helpless. And up to date, it's my biggest regret, the pain I put them through.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank my dad, because in his words, he told me, I'll not tell anybody this story. It is your story. You'll tell it when you're ready. And I'll support you in whatever you want to do. And if you want to go back and finish, whatever it is that you want to do, you're my son. And even the day he came to pick me up, he said, I'm thankful you didn't finish, because if you finished and got a job with that addiction, you'd have died.
Exactly.
So, literally, my father played a very big role in how I felt and how I took it. But now, at that time, nobody was answering why people do all of these things I was doing, but nobody was like me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people drink, people smoke weed.
Yeah.
Steph, you know that.
Yeah, people do.
But they are okay. Why
they do it in limits.
Like why are other people able to limit?
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't able. So there's this myth that goes that ukikunywa sana, when you drink too much is when you'll get addicted.
Mm-hmm.
I want to debunk that myth. It's not when you drink too much is when you get addicted. But that loss of control does not cause addiction. Loss of control is a symptom
of addiction.
Yes. So if you find yourself you are not able to control, it is a
even
symptom.
Even as small as it is. Not
yes.
Yeah.
It's like saying fever caused malaria. No, it is malaria that causes the fever.
Yeah.
But at that time, I also couldn't get it because I thought it was the other way around. So I decided I need to do psychology. I need to understand this head of mine. And I needed to do addiction counseling. So from the guy who was not able to finish one degree course of economics and finance, I took two. One in addiction studies. It's called addiction counseling, chemical dependency and addiction counseling. Then I took counseling psychology to separate. And
but you see, it led you to your,
yes.
I think, your calling. You're not calling. Your calling was not in the economics part of it.
I would say that. And then while I was there, when I started discovering these things, and the other significant thing that happened is during COVID, I was in Uganda working, and during that lockdown, I was not able to see my family for a long time. I had a young family. So fast forward, during my recovery, I met this amazing lady.
Tell us how you met her.
And you know, now after rehab, me I really wanted this recovery. So every other Thursday, I was going back.
Oh.
Not for anything.
Like it's not an appointment. You
I
just
was just going there just to remind myself. So that, So at some point after a few months, she was employed there.
Okay.
And then immediately after, the director thought it was a good idea to also employ me. So me.
Oh,
and
so you're showing a lot of progress.
And this now wife, we are there.
The love.
Yeah, the sparks. And then I'm like, iki to.
Yeah.
So even though kulienda, but now, so we had a family, we got married, we had a family, and now after that I found a job in Uganda, and the plan is we live there. But what actually happened, COVID happened, and lockdown happened, and I was there during lockdown, and nimeacha familia huku. She had an early pregnancy. By that time my daughter was born. My firstborn daughter was born when I was in Uganda.
Oh, you were not even there for the birth.
The anxiety. So what used to happen, I used to get these chest pains and a lot of diarrhea. So I would get an off day, go to the hospital, and they would test me, and they would tell me nothing. There's nothing. Everything, there's nothing. Until one time my supervisor told me, maybe it's anxiety, Jeff. So I clicked. Oh, this is how I used to feel all my childhood.
Since you're young?
Yes. And the only times I didn't feel that was this time that I was really doing this. And that's why I had to fix that, and I had to fix the thing of doing my dad proud. I had to now to start doing who am I? What do I really want? What is it?
Doing it for you.
Doing it for me. So it opened up this door for me, and now I was able to enjoy my recovery. I started, letting these things go.
Wait, what kutukimbiza? Take us slowly. So when you told your wife about your recovering, how did she take it? Like, was she scared at first, or how did she take it?
No, you see, she was working in a rehab. So
was she also
no.
For her it was professional.
She's a professional counselor. Yeah. Yeah. So she actually, one of the gravitating facts was that I really felt she
supported you.
She supported me. She sees me. She
saw you. She saw you.
She saw, she sees. See, so, see.
Yeah. She sees so.
Yeah, sure. Too much. Sure. But anyway, yeah. So during COVID, that is what happened. But thankfully, a while back, no, not a while back, after the COVID period was over, maybe 8 months even, I came back and continued with my family. And now we have 2 daughters.
Oh, yeah. 2 girls.
Enjoying my recovery, enjoying my sobriety. And I enjoy what I do. I find passion in now helping people walk through this journey, rediscovering themselves, reconnecting with self, because it's about reconnection, recovery. Recovery is not something new. It was there, it was taken away. Now it is, you recover it within yourself. Yeah.
Wow, what a inspiration, what an enlightenment. Like, I feel like I and 1,000 people others or million people out there
Million.
million we have so many questions for you because he's certified, so he should be able to answer us, right? We have many questions and he has gone through it. He didn't go to school to just study it, he went through it physically. So I have so many questions, and the first question I'll ask is, do you think it's genetics? It can be gotten through genetics?
I always insist on the fact that due to the magnitude of the changes that happen in the brain and in the mind, you cannot attribute struggling with addiction or nini to one factor. Genetics is a factor, but just one of the factors. So it is that factor, and it's not that people confuse, because people say, I inherited ulevi or I inherited
Babangu alikuwa
alcoholism,
mlevi,
so I
yeah.
cannot stop. No, it's not that you inherit the disease. What you inherit is a set of genes that predispose you, that put you at risk of acquiring when now maybe triggered, or when the environment is set right. So if my genetic predisposition is in such a manner that I'm not able to control my impulses, all right, and you are not, there is a likelihood that if there is a cabinet full of alcohol, you'll be able to stop yourself, and I'll not be able to stop myself. All right. So it is through that drinking that the other further changes in the brain happen that actually now lead to you now having the disease of alcoholism.
And I've seen where pregnant women also get drunk, use drugs, especially like in a ghetto setup. Like, how do you take that as a, because do the kids get affected or?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because by design, not everything is supposed to get to the brain. And by design, there is something here we call a blood-brain barrier that is supposed to filter. But unfortunately, drugs and alcohol are able to
Pass through.
So, but if a pregnant woman is drinking and there is blood, there is alcohol in her blood, there is a very huge possibility that the unborn child will get affected in one way or another. And these are terms now where I will remember late at night when we are not here. But they are alcohol related complications during the pregnancy and after pregnancy. Children whose mothers were drinking may show slower rates of development, lower immune, and things like those. Yeah.
Wow. And how does someone get to know themselves that they're addicted? Like, how do I know? I was taking only one glass, I'm okay. So now I'm in 2 glasses. How do you get to know that?
So number one, I'll define addiction once again.
Please do. Today is a learning day.
And due to the complexity, it's very complex. You know, what we see, we only see the behavioral bit of it, especially in other people. But what is happening in hindsight is a lot of complexity. So basically, addiction is when somebody or people use things for short-term relief, but the same thing has long-term consequences, and the person is unable to stop even when they experience the long-term consequences, of course, due to the brain changes that happen. Right? And even before I answer that question, just a follow through on the question of genetics. I mentioned that it is just but one factor. Other major factors include trauma, environment, stress, the coping mechanisms your body or your mind comes up with. So there's a lot of things put together. All right, let me now skip that and come to this point. How do you know now
you're an addict?
you're an addict. First of all, let's rephrase that.
Okay.
Because when we say, how will you know you're an addict?
Mhm.
That is to mean you have stopped being human and you're an addict.
Or you're addicted.
Better,
Okay.
but listen to this.
Okay.
How do you know you're a person struggling with addiction?
Okay. Let's go with yours.
First, you're human, all right?
Yeah.
Let me do this in stages.
Mm-hmm.
Let me do the first one, the most basic. You can look at 4 things. Number 1, loss of control. Whether you've been able to cut down or you've tried to cut down but unable to stop.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing you look at is, do you feel angry or agitated when it is mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel guilty after
Doing it.
Mm-hmm. And the fourth thing is, do you feel the need to do that thing that you do, whether it's drinking, drugs, sex, or any other type of addiction, to achieve something else or before doing something else?
Mm-hmm.
In alcohol, it is simple. Do you feel the need to maybe kutoa lock before?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the need to smoke before sex?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel the need to before?
Mm-hmm.
All
It
right?
leads to one leads
Yes.
to one.
So from that level, to just be more clear, risking complexity, there are things like withdrawal. Do you feel uncomfortable when you are not indulging? And the discomfort can be mild, moderate, or severe. Mild is simple lack of concentration, anxiety. Moderate is maybe you feel body pains, body aches, headaches, restlessness.
Shivering.
Yes, and then there's a severe bit where you tremor, you cannot do anything, you feel immobile. So there's the withdrawal. The other bit is tolerance. Do you need more of the drink or the drug than when you started to achieve? Do you feel like you are chasing a certain feeling without getting it, and every time you're chasing you need more and more? Do you use even when it's going against your values or your responsibilities? Do you put yourself in danger to? All right. And if you expand those, you can come up with 9 or so symptoms. But what I've realized is that you can tell somebody who's addicted all of those signs, but they will not change, because knowledge is one thing, and the part of the brain that actually changes is not the part that acquires knowledge. It is the part that feels. It is the part that connects. It is the part that loves. It is the part that feels pain. It is the part that feels pleasure. It is that part. So you may know all of these things, but the question is, what is your pain? What are you running away from? So if you get the answers to those questions, you stand a better chance.
Okay, and do you think parents and family and friends are a contributing factor to someone either sticking to being an addict or using or abusing the drugs, or do they contribute to someone coming out of it?
There's a question we ask people, or as I've been asked, the chicken and the egg.
Which one came first?
Which one came first?
I've never known the answer. I guess it's the chicken.
So where did the chicken come from?
It was created.
Right. So, and how did the chicken know it had to lay an egg? Okay. So case of chicken and egg, where you can't really. So family, friends, there is this roundabout like or cycle with addiction. If, for example, in some quarters we say addiction is also a family disease, to put it simply, when somebody is struggling with addiction as an individual, they are trying to escape from all of these feelings, and even when They don't get the drugs. They struggle with anxiety, anger, resentments, all of those things.
And
The
neglect, because most
Yes.
families
Mm.
chana na huyo ni mlevi,
Right? Now, when it comes to the family, what is the family going through? They are watching their loved ones suffer. That is anxiety. They are watching their loved ones throw away their life, manipulate them, lie to them. That is anger. They are watching their loved ones go down the drain. There is shame. They don't want, right? But then there is this innate need to save them. There's the urge to save. So there's the urge to save. There is this undealt with emotions in anxiety, anger, shame, and guilt. So where do these emotions go? They remain undealt with. And this urge to save creates a space in their mind that shows them this is our problem, we have to deal with this. So the family members start neglecting themselves and other things so to concentrate on
the problem.
This big problem. But the problem never goes away. And even when the person stops, these feelings that they have not dealt with, they remain. And in some way or another, they start affecting the other family members. So the problem of addiction remains in the family. So at some point, it is passed down generations, because the father's anger was passed to the son, the anxiety was passed like that down generations. So it is very important, as much as we are families, to take this on an individual level. You may not be struggling with an addiction we can see, but you're struggling with an addiction we can't see, because you're addicted to the person who is addicted. So you need to find a way to deal, to process your anxiety, to process this anger, so that this anger is you as you process it with minimal spill over to the next person. And sometimes you see that when family members start working on themselves individually, it's something we call detachment with love. That I can be able to love you and not make your issues my issues.
From afar.
You can even be close, but your issues are not my issues. The language we use. For example, I can tell you, ulevi yako ndio itaniua. Right? I'm trying to pass the message that I'm angry. So I tell you, this drinking is the one that will kill me. If you are my daughter and I'm your father and I tell you that, do you think you'll stop drinking? That is even more pain to...
No, I will not stop.
You want to stop, but you can't.
Yeah.
And now I've added more pain. Now what if I tell you, I see you, okay, or what if I rephrase, what if I'm a father and you're struggling, and I'm able to tell you that I know you're struggling, and it makes me feel sad. And my prayer is that one day you'll be able to overcome it. Yeah. And I'm here to offer any type of support you may need. So basically, those two statements, I've passed the same message of frustration, but in two different ways.
Even creating a dream of, I always dreamt of you being this big person, you know, having a good job. Sometimes the person, whether they are drunk or not, they'll sit down and reflect. So my dad believed in me. Like my dad thought I'll be something.
Yes. So this other one, the first one where I tell you,
it's like a judgment.
Your drinking will kill me. You see, now I even have pressure because of you. And so the message is, I'm frustrated, but what did I leave with you? I left you more pain. So you go drink.
Pressure.
So if I deal with my frustration as a father, and I'm able to express that frustration in a manner that I am detaching that frustration from you. I'm saying, I can see that you're suffering. I am frustrated, yes, but your suffering is for you. I'm hoping and I'm in support, whatever you need me to do for you to overcome your suffering. That way I've communicated my suffering without bringing my suffering to you.
Exactly.
You see, so navigating these dynamics as family is very important, because let me tell you, it's very complex. It's and by complex I don't mean hard to overcome. It's
complicated. It's challenging.
Yes, it's not straightforward as you may want, because people ask, this person is suffering. can't they just stop going to the bar?
Yeah.
It looks
Stop
simple.
giving them money.
But look at it. The part of the brain that is rewired, the part of the brain that is addicted, is not responsible for logic. It's responsible for emotions. It's responsible for feeling, pleasure, happiness, connection, all of those things, purpose, all of those things. That is the part that really suffers. So you try to put logic into that, you find that, then again, your logic is not my logic.
True. So, what are your words to parents who have kids who are struggling with various addictions out there?
Number one, don't give up.
Never give up.
Don't give up. But how you do the not giving up is also very important.
Not just not giving up.
Yes, you have to find the most compassionate. The best ways are the ways that don't inflict more pain, because the person who's struggling with addiction is already suffering. Some of them have other underlying issues like depression, like anxiety disorders, trauma. Some of them have other different mental illnesses like bipolar, schizophrenia, psychosis, all of those. Sometimes it's not just the addiction. It's easy to see the addiction because you can see the drink and you can see the person staggering, but
there's something
there's
inside.
the stuff. The person is already suffering. So even if you're not giving up, may your methods be not
supportive,
adding more pain. And you can only do that by first dealing with your own emotions first and expressing it in a manner that there's all detachment with. All right.
How do you help someone who is not willing to be helped? Because there are those who are just like, you've tried, you've taken to rehab, immediately they come out, they relapse. You've tried all your best. How do you deal with such a case?
The thing is, how, when you look at addiction as a disease and you compare it to other diseases, when it's other diseases, if Dr. A doesn't get it, people go to Dr. B, C, D, E, F.
They find ways to...
They find better ways. So there is no lack of a better way to deal
help
with
someone.
it. And sometimes even letting the person suffer the consequences of, as long as the consequence is not leading to death at that point.
It's good.
As long as it is not leading to death. Okay? Sometimes it is required for the person to go through the consequences to finally see that the safety net is it can be a learning opportunity. Because it also helps with this, but with support. That you suffer the consequences, but we are here, but the consequences.
So ukiona mtoto akipanda juu ya meza, let them fall.
As long as it's not going to lead to.
Mtoto akililia wembe mpe.
There is a, not in that sense, but in the sense of the role you've been playing. You know, the role you've been playing. Maybe there is something this person is saying that you've not been listening to. Because the fixation is on the stopping. What is beyond the
but
stopping?
There's something they say when you're not listening.
Yes, because you can see there's always something. And sometimes it's not within human ability or control to help your loved one. Yes. So sometimes even in other programs like 12 steps program, there are some things you leave to the higher power.
You do what you can.
Yes. But don't give up. But make sure your way of not giving up is not inflicting more pain.
So how do you think, in Kenya example, for for example, we're in Kenya. How do you think addiction has been dealt with, especially by the government? Are there enough hospitals, rehabs? Are they cheap for every person who can be able to attend? Or how do you think about that?
From my experience, treating addiction is quite expensive. It's not affordable to majority of households. That one I'm not going to lie.
It's a luxury.
It's not a luxury per se, but to the majority of people who may need the help, it is not
Available.
It is not available. And mental illnesses and addiction has been seen as a second-class illness, has been seen as choice illnesses. So sometimes they have taken a back seat in discussions, in funding, and in all of those things. And I'm not the complaining type, but currently we are seeing more awareness. We are seeing more people come out. And that's why even we come out, we share our story, we've seen more celebrities, more government officials. You know, government officials who are struggling, you come out with your stories, it will help, help. And I think as a country, I may not be in a position to say the direction we are moving, but I'm hoping that as a country, we can wake up from this sleep of thinking that people struggling with addiction are there because they choose to, or because they want to. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, today I want to suffer, Lord, I want to suffer. Nobody.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah. So yeah, we need more resources, we need more professionals, we need better systems and better reforms around that area.
So that's a small scale person. How can you advise them? Like, what can they do? Are there like places where they're not money related, or how do you think about that?
The person who's not able to afford the traditional treatment, there are support groups that are free. 12-step groups, you can always check them up on the internet, like Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and a good number of people find help from there if you are able to. It's always good to try. You try, then if it fails, you try another thing.
Exactly.
The thing is, you don't stop. As long as
Don't stop.
you are not stopping, is not inflicting more pain.
Pain. The key point is pain.
Yes. Yes, there are various ways. You try the support groups. If they don't want, try something else. Even the question you ask, what do you do with people who have been to many rehabs? There's always something. There's always something that has been or not had. So you just continue with the hearing in ways that don't. So even for the people who may not have the finances, there are these support groups. They are out there. There is a website. There are meetings in Nairobi and other areas of Kenya. So help is there.
Okay. So if they contact you, you can be able to direct them to that, or
Contacting me in the ways that I'm able to help as a person. I'm able to help with screening, assessment, and giving a menu of options. You know how you come to me, I tell you, I see this problem is like this, and these are the option A, B, C, and D, and then you're able to pick the one that is best for you. And if you pick the option that is best for you, and I'm in that option, then we continue the journey.
Yeah.
If I'm not in that option, if it's elsewhere,
direct them.
yes, I'm able to do that.
Wow. Today was like the best day, having started the year so well, 2025, and having a very special guest within our premises, being able to share his story of how he battled with addiction until he became sober. He's still in recovering.
Yeah, 6 years, 8 months hapo.
6 years, 8 months is not a small thing.
April 24th to now. You can count 8 months. Yes, 6 years, 8 months.
So you'll be 9 years in April.
Yes.
Wow. That's
Not
a journey.
9, 7.
Oh, 7 years in, 8 months. Oh, 7 years in April.
Yes, but one day at a time.
Yeah. No, we are not going back down.
That is the prayer.
Yeah.
That is the hope. But recovery as it is, haipendi hasira na haipendi pressure. If I think of 10 years, then it becomes too much, and it start getting anxiety, and that anxiety may lead. So I'd rather look
At
the next
one day,
yeah,
tomorrow.
other look, what do I need to do today to stay sober today?
Exactly. So can you be tempted? Like if someone came here with something, can you be tempted? Have you ever been tempted?
You don't even need to come with anything.
You're tempted.
The truth of the fact of the matter, without fear of contradiction, this thing of ours never forgets. So there are times I just be there by myself shutting up like this, and I remember one time I had a good time in a certain club, and that memory will bring some. So it's up to me to arrest it, to again talk to myself again and say, where are you going?
Yeah,
Calm
exactly.
down.
Change the route.
Yeah, stop trying to trick me.
Yeah.
So it's that way. And one other symptom of addiction, maybe I failed to mention, I wish we can go back, is cravings. Yes, it's the urge, the desire to use. So they also vary, and cravings are triggered by either external or internal factors. Internal factors like emotions, external factors like advertisements. They're watching
Company.
TV. You are trying to quit. Maybe you've quit 2 days. Then just before the news, you are watching football, and then you see an advertisement of somebody pouring beer into a glass
with the sounds,
and then you remember, hey, you go out. Cravings.
Oh wow.
So once in a while there's times when either a memory or something, or even those adverts, or mostly it's memory, or when during a stressful period, because remember the mind formed association along those many years. So sometimes it is tempted to remind me, but I tell it, hey bro, it's like an alarm. It's there that rings sometimes, but now I have the tools.
It's snoozing. You snooze it.
Yeah, you not snooze, you pour water.
You hit it and off it completely.
Yes, but it is the nature of it, and so that's something that people don't understand out there. And when we talk about healing from addiction, one of the first bit is acceptance. It's even accepting that some of this, sometimes you may not want to do something, but your mind is there reminding you in one form or another, and it is normal, but you don't have to act on it. Yes,
because we're humans, definitely.
Yeah, you remember, human before the condition.
Now guys, I hope you've heard what we heard today, and I really appreciate your time that you had with us. I hope you learned something about dealing with people who are struggling with addiction. And you've heard from the horse's mouth, addiction is not only alcohol, it's not only drugs, it can be so many things out there. Some things that you don't even think. Some people are addicted to shopping.
Yeah.
But you think, it's just fun, I have money, let me shop. Every time you have money, online shopping, every time.
Yeah, and now some people were addicted to other things, but they use shopping to feel good. Then we call it retail therapy. So so it's all about balance. And to be on the safe side, you always check. Remember, it is for short-term relief and inability to stop even when there are long-term consequences. So sometimes you check the relief. What relief am I seeking? And what are the consequences? And am I able to stop when undergoing the consequences? If you are unable, you go back to that. You deal with the issues and just like every other bit, it is finding balance, finding healing through self, through honesty, a means of acceptance that helps you be you. But definitely you can be addicted to shopping too.
Yeah. No, I know people who don't like stay without shop. They'll tell you they're addicted to shop. Anytime they have money, it's either going out to the mall or online shopping. Anytime, every time, and it's an addiction because you can't deal without it. And find yourself every time you have 100 pairs of shoes, but you still, oh my God, look at that shoe! I want it. I need it, and you want it again.
Mwalimu, ningekuuliza swali kuhusu na hiyo story yako ya addiction for whatever situation you are in. Nikuulize kama ilianza kwa wewe mwenyewe binafsi pale nyumbani ama ulianza kutoka kwa my friends ukafuata vile wa friends wengine wanafanya ukakuwa in that company, or how did it started?
So the alcohol bit ilikuwa sana because of home. Because it was there at home, I could see people drink, having fun. There was nothing wrong with it in my child eyes. So
the parents there, your brothers or your siblings?
My parents, uncles, during Christmas, like that, and people are drinking. When we go out and people are drinking, and the father gets tipsy, they put me kidogo, and it's also the thing I knew any successful man must do. Even for a long time, I thought people who don't drink are stupid. Then the other drugs is that acceptance, because when I smoke, when I do these things, I usually so like I'm cool, I am woke, I am
friends come.
Yeah, so I am relatable, I am fun, I am important. And now even when I buy people now, when I enter in the band, I say power. Yeah, I feel like I'm the minister. Yes, but it's an illusion that fades away very fast, because all of this is masking all of those things. So peer pressure is usually two-way. Sometimes things don't happen because somebody tells you, but because of what you see and what you think others will see or say, or those things. But friends and family had a huge role, both in addiction and in recovery, because it is the same family now that is supporting me in recovery. And some of the friends too, because I kept a few, like 2 or 3 that are there encouraging me every time they check up on me and tell them, please remember, don't go back where you were. And we were drinking with them, and they could see the problem, but they didn't have the words. They can
control.
Yes, them they are okay. So they didn't have the words or the know-how to tell me. But when I finally got help, they reached out and they are like, we always wanted, but now I kind of direct them. If you want to help me, this and this is what you do. When I need somebody to talk to and I call you, don't hang up. Even if I'm telling you nonsense, just listen to me. Because sometimes it is something small. Maybe something has happened. I'm overthinking. And I just need to tell somebody.
To just tell you
it's okay.
Yeah, it's
so,
okay.
Yes. So, yeah. So, but 90% of my friends, I had to let them go. Because there are those ones that don't know me, don't even know anything. They just know me and the drinking.
The drinkers.
So that is the only thing we have in common. But now there are other friends who somebody knows my essence, somebody knows my values, somebody I can share my vision with. A good friend is a friend you can share your vision with, and you share values, and you can be like now we are here with Steph. We are friends because there is this we sharing. We want to impact. She wants to share these stories to other people, so we share that. But if there is nothing, if what is connecting us is distraction, let me tell you,
you run.
I've remembered another thing, and it's very dangerous with addiction. When you are there, you always compare yourself. But I'm not as bad as so and so. I'm not as bad as so and so. Let me tell you, that kahol that you see that you are in a hole, but I'm not in a bigger hole than so and so. If you don't stop digging,
you will find yourself deeper.
yeah, it's like it's like an excavator. Then it comes again, it digs.
You are dipping yourself deeper and deeper.
Yes, but once you realize you don't want to dig anymore, the only way is up.
Okay, thank you very much. Very good. So you can tell some people can get that behavior or that kind of drinking or addicted in home, in the family, or outside there with friends.
Yes. Yes. Home, family it's where your mind finds that comfort or meaning. So if you are looking for this comfort or pleasure or acceptance, and then you find it in somebody who uses cocaine, chances are you use, not because he has told you, but because your mind has associated.
How you're seeing them after taking.
Like for example, when I was young, I saw happy people drinking. So
you want to be happy.
The people who are drinking in my childhood were happy, they were successful, and they had money. So there is no way you would tell me.
You are being wrong.
Yes, because that's all I knew.
Nothing wrong with that. Okay,
so even if you had to come and tell me, oh, you nakunya, I would tell you off. Like it was. I used to think people don't drink as stupid.
There are times you have somebody to guide you or to talk to you and tell you, oh, don't talk to so and so, don't walk with so and so, that is good company and that is bad company. You listen, or sometimes you don't listen.
Yes. Yeah, but maybe an advice to especially parents parenting young adults. There's this instinct, don't go out with so and so. First of all, find out why they are going out with so and so, and then offer them an alternative.
Don't just cut off without.
Because you don't know why. So if you go and you're telling somebody, don't go out with so and so, and maybe that so and so is the one who listens to them. So it's like you're telling them to come back home and suffer. So first of all, find out why is your son or daughter gravitating towards those people. What is it that they are looking for there, and can you offer it in another setting? So that way your child becomes a partner, not a competitor. It's like you're trying to compete. So ask your child, oh, how do those people make you feel? Then work with the child with seeking other. Are there other things that we can do in other places that can make you feel the same way? At least we try, and you see that way it is not as easy as I'm saying it, but with consistency it is something that sticks. And even if they don't pick it up then, even if they fall out of the way, when they grow older, they will remember, Mom tried to bring me. So and so told me. Mom tried to bring me home. Mom is always there at home. So one day they'll realize and they'll come, Mom, the thing you are telling me, let's do it now. You see?
Thank you so much. I learned from a teacher who have gone that journey and that through the difficult moment or time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anyway, guys, that was our time today. Please stay safe and know how to deal with addiction. And maybe you should have given maybe your name or number if someone wants to get some counseling or something motivational about how to deal with someone who is addicted or slab.
You mentioned number. Now I have to put a serious face. Anyway, my number is 0+254 702 49 2050 0702 49 20 50.
We'll put it on the screen.
Kenyan code. Unajua you go international, so we have to
Social media, maybe they can follow.
Jeff Gedenji, Facebook, Jeff_Gedenji,
Instagram.
TikTok, Jeff_reformed_Instagram.
Okay.
Actually, if you search around Jeff Gethenji, Jeff Reformed,
Play with those.
play with those ones, you find me. And if you don't, Japheth Muremi Gethenji. Sometimes. Yeah.
So you can offer house to house, or they have to come to you. Anyway, you'll talk about it.
Like I said, my bit, I'm a professional and I'm very good at screening, assessment, and offering a menu of options. That's
a guidance.
yes, and my style is I'm always client oriented. This thing is not about me, it's about you. So how do we get you out of
that situation?
Yes, without adding more pain.
Thank you so much, guys, for being with us today. And Chantel, you have something for our guests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well. Tunaiangalia sahi ama off
You
camera.
can open it. Thank you, Chantel.
Retail therapy was done. No, you guys, I won't show you.
No, show us. Let's see what is there.
That's for him. That's his. Don't show them. Don't show us.
Show us.
See us. You don't get to show them. I don't.
Let me keep this.
Yeah.
It's very sentimental.
Show us what you got.
I want to cry. No, African man crying on camera. Well, thank you. But there's definitely going to be some sugar addiction here.
Okay, then show us what's the other one.
This one.
Yes. Then show us the other one.
This one.
Yes.
The camera is that side.
An appreciation for coming to We Talk Show. For coffee. Now you have something for coffee.
Something to drink with.
You should also cut down on the coffee. That's what we'll discuss behind the tent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having us. Have a nice day, nice night, wherever you are. Thank you. Bye-bye. We love you. Behind the tent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for having us. Have a nice day, nice night, wherever you are.